It's the GOAT Coach, Coach Steve Flow, guys. And I know it's been a month of Sundays since we've done a Coach Coffee with Coach, but we are back. We went live every day, Monday through Friday, with GOAT techniques and accessories. Kind of show you how to maneuver with social media, with your reels and your videos, and using the tools and the assets that social media platforms provide for you. And that was done. It was also a challenge that I was doing personally to get all the content and then redistribute the content through other platforms, ebooks, reels, etc. But guys, we are back. We are back on our core topic, our number one thing we do, which is fitness. Y'all know the GOAT been doing this a long time, man. Many have came, but only a few have conquered. It's rules to this shit. And things have to be done systematically to be successful. You can have somebody just jumping around in the gym, doing stuff, throwing around weight. But unless you have a strategy, unless you and your client or if you have groups, your clients, unless you have an understanding of what the mission is, unless you have done background work to find out uh, where they are on the inside by getting a body scan, you're really just what I call cowboying. You're working out. You're not training. It's a difference between working out and training. 4.0 Fit, we are a training center. We're not like a typical gym. Now we call it the gym, and we are in an active gym right now. So if you hear weights clanging and stuff like that, that's what it is. We are in the gym right now. It's active. But the difference with us is it's like part of our package is like you get coaching, you get metering, you get charting. All that comes into the package. Like if you go to like a commercial gym, it's like you go into like something like that, you know what I'm saying? A PF. When you walk in there, once you sign that whatever they charge, $5, $9, whatever you're at your mercy of your own vice. Now, if you have some insight, or you've been training before, maybe that's cool. But if you're somebody that has a specific goal, this is what we are catered for. When you come in here, we got workouts on the board. You have access to access to the GOAT, man. Off top, that's an asset. Just think if you had an A1 mechanic at your call and wheel anytime something's wrong with your car, and they would be able to assess and tell you what's wrong with your car for a low number, considering that type of money. Even if you got somebody else to do the work, he was able to say, okay, that might be your Cadillac converter, or that might be your EOC computer, or that might be your valve stem gasket, or whatever the case may be. It was somebody who was able to tell you what was wrong and how to fix it, versus you had to take it somewhere to get diagnosed. That's what I am. So when you come here, it's a training center. It's different from the average gym per se. Like I say, we do so much more. We do our own charting. We do our own scanning. We provide workouts for you. We also coach you up. If you come in here, you have a specific goal that you want to reach. We chop it up. When we do the assessment, I find out where you at, what you're trying to do, and we go for it. And that's everybody who walks in the door. Just getting into group or personal training, that's a whole level of strategy and things that we have to work out. But just the average Joe or Joanne who walks through the door, those are some of the amenities that 4.0 Fit offers. So we are going to get into the meat and potatoes. We're going to be quick with this guy because I have to got things to do today. Nutrition. So if you do go one of these mainstay places, maybe you or maybe somebody have been going there for a year or two, and they don't look the same. They look the exact same when you first walked in there, or they might have lost a little weight, or they might have gotten bigger. 9 times out of 10, guys, the reason that's happening is because of nutrition. Nutrition is the mission. Nutrition runs it. I mean, just about anybody who is able can walk in the gym and throw some weight around, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, swing a kettlebell, get on a treadmill. We all can do that, for the most part. But when it comes to locking down that nutrition, eating right, that's where 80% of us drop the ball. That's what people drop the ball at. They drop the ball when it comes to their nutrition, when it comes to eating. And there's specific things that you must do if you're training. Like I said, this is a training facility, 4.0 fitness training facility. So when you hear training, you have a specific goal, we got to dial in that nutrition. We got to say, like, I'm going to give a reverse example. I'm going to give my nephew, shout out to Tashawn. He's been putting on, like, he wanted to bulk. He wanted to get bigger. We got him on him what's called a dirty bulk. He came in, well, not when he came in, but when he started, when he said, I want to get bigger, he was 139. He logged in the other day at 170. Go figure. So this kid has put on 31, we'll just say 30 for easy math, 30 pounds of mass since he started bulking early this winter. That's a lot. Go pick up a 30-pound dumbbell, curl it with your left hand. 30 is a lot. And to be able to put that much size on in that amount of time goes to show you the techniques and procedures work once you dial it in. You got to figure it out, dial it in, and then apply it. I have another young lady, shout to Mari. She wants to gain weight. So her thing is, the typical woman, she's a young lady, but typical. I want the back fat and the stomach flat, and that right there, to me, you got to have, it's like a math problem. You got to have the right formula to get that, because if you want the buns fat, you're gonna have to have a little bit of caloric overkill to build muscle. And we all know to build muscle, we got to go a little heavy, but we also got to eat. Because you go heavy and you don't eat with it, it's gonna get stronger, but it's not gonna get so much bigger if you're not getting the food. The food is what builds it. It's like when you hit the weights, you open up this door that's ready for nutrients. And we eat the food, you get those nutrients in that gets those muscle fibers to grow. They expand, they get bigger, they multiply. Fat cells just get bigger. The fat cells you got, they either shrink or get bigger. I don't think you really just make new fat cells. The ones you got just get bigger. So with Mari, it was like, okay, I'm trying to gain weight. And I'm giving you 2 examples of weight gain, because like I can do the weight loss like this, like eyes closed, one thumb in my, that shit easy. Been doing that for so long. So when I get a weight gain, it's like a challenge. And I love challenges. But with her, she's gained 4 pounds. Keep in mind, she's a small girl. She's like 120, I think 123 when she started. She's 129 now, and her body fat has went down. Go figure. So we putting lean muscle on her, but we've also decreased her body fat. All this is done through training and nutrition. You got to have both, guys. And depending on the person and their aesthetics, nutrition can trump training. It's like nutrition is the canvas and the weights or your training is the brush. You need both to create art. If you're drawing a piece, you need the canvas and you need the paintbrush. You need the paint too. But that's how I kind of look at it. You got to have both. So what does that mean? You have to find out what's your BMR. What's the bottom line that your body needs to function properly. And the smaller you are, the lower that number will be. The bigger you are, the bigger that number will be. Mine hovers around like 2,700. Like my body's, if I take in 2,600 calories a day, I'm not gonna gain no weight, and my body will function properly like it's supposed to. But then you have to dial in your macros, and that's where a lot of people drop the ball at. And I'm going to actually talk about that later on this week on another platform, shout out to Candid Nutrition. But for right now, I'm going to keep it simple. You got proteins, you got fats, and you got carbohydrates. Everybody probably pretty much know about the main one, which is carbs. Everybody know about carbohydrates. But protein is so important when it comes to muscle, building lean muscle. And of course, fats have their role in it too. You can't, and there's a lot of different sources of fat. Don't think about fat like body fat. Think about like fish oil, avocado, peanut butter, nuts, stuff like that. That's where you get your healthy fats from, omega-3s. So Everything plays a role. Now, what you need the least amount of is fat. You don't need as much fat. Some people, when it comes to carbohydrates and proteins, depending on what their fitness journey is, they'll go 1 gram per pound of body weight when it comes to carbohydrates, and 1 pound of 1 gram of protein per skeletal muscle. How much muscle you got. So if you got sometimes, and some people they really get this part wrong to me. They'll say, okay, if I weigh 200, I should get 200 grams of protein in. I'm like, how much does your muscle weigh? If your muscle is weighing like 150, then you need to get 150 grams of protein in, because the rest of it is bone, blood, skin, and organs, skull. So you don't need protein for that part. You just need protein to go straight to your muscle. So find out what your muscle is, how much your muscle weighs, a good estimate, and adjust your protein intake to that. I mean, it's I know it might sound difficult, but it's necessary. It's training. When you're flying, I'm not gonna use that example, flying, because flying's been kind of crazy in the United States lately. When you're driving a semi truck, you have to study and find out, your gears, how to operate this thing, the switches, hydraulics. Fitness is the same way. You just don't jump out, and if you got to research and study what the mechanics and what's going to help you reach your goals. And all this stuff is pertinent information that a lot of us don't use, but to make it efficient. Do you have to know macros? No, you don't. Is it better and more efficient that you do? Most definitely. Most definitely. My homeboy, his name is Chris. Chris lost a lot of weight. And I know for a fact, Chris old school. Chris probably about 10 years older than me. So Chris probably about in his early 60s now. But this was maybe 15 years ago. Chris had a heart condition that basically told me you gotta lose weight. All Chris did was goddamn walk. What he said? He walked. Only thing he ate for breakfast was 2 boiled eggs, piece of toast, and bacon. He said for lunch he ate a sandwich. Oh, no. And for dinner, what did he say he ate for dinner? Because he didn't eat that much for dinner. He said he ate a salad. Now, unbeknownst to Chris, because Chris, like I say, he don't know shit about no macros or none of that. But he did the portion method. It's basically what he did. He cut down and stopped eating snacks and stuff like that too. But just think about what he ate. So he got breakfast in the morning. So he got some fats. He got some fats from the egg and the bacon. He got protein from both of them, and he got carbohydrates from the toast. I think he said he put peanut butter on the toast, or jelly, one or two. So you got carbohydrates from the jelly. Got caffeine from. Then he ate a sandwich. He said ate a sandwich during the lunch period. So his sandwich. That's more carbs, and I don't know if you put ham or turkey on it. Because he just said sandwich, but I'm assuming. So that's another. And if you put vegetables on there, like lettuce or something like that, spinach, you getting your carbs and your fiber and stuff from that. So if you really think about break down how he ate, he lost tons of weight. Now, in him losing his weight, he was so up underneath his DCI, his daily caloric intake, his BMR. He was so up underneath it that he also lost muscle. Now, where he did tone up at was his legs, because he was walking. So he was using his leg muscles, but I noticed his upper body, everything else got smaller. And he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. He did a body recomp. He dropped about 80 pounds, and his body changed. He got smaller. But it was the walking, but it wasn't the walking alone. It was the walking and the food. Most definitely. So they like I said, I just gave you an example of somebody who I know don't know shit about no macros, none of that shit. But he still applied the basic principles in a way to lose weight if you're trying to lose weight. Cut back drastically, actually. And he introduced fitness into his life. And he lost a lot of weight. So you don't have to do it, but is it better? It's way better if you dial it in. Case in point, had a client just shot the trap, started, it'd be a month on his next workout officially, but I think he started on Monday. Today was his month. We logged in, let me see. We logged in 18 pounds of body fat loss in 30 days. We use a nutrition platform with Candid Nutrition. Demeter Pritchett, look her up. And the combination of us using a nutrition coach with a trainer has equal to optimize results. Now, my buddy Chris, he walked for about a year to lose 80 pounds. The way we work, first of all, he ain't got 80 pounds. My client ain't got 80 pounds to lose. But on the trick we're going, February, March, April, we would have lost. If we keep going like this, we've been lost that by April or May. Because everything is optimized, it's dialed in. His nutrition, his training days, and we only train 3 days a week versus a friend walked every day. So once something has a strategy behind it, and you find out the numbers and you dial it in, it's going to be a different outcome. I'm so proud of him. And there's others, there's so many others, but these are just examples how I'm showing you how nutrition can play a detrimental role on your fitness journey. I just explained to you the portion method. That's what I believe my homeboy Chris did. He just cut back on a lot of food. But you also got intermittent fasting. You got keto. Some people don't like keto. I've done keto before, and what I didn't like about keto, it gave me not a bad BO, but it definitely gave me a different BO. I don't know what it was. It just was just different. I didn't like it. BO is body odor. But intermittent is good too. Intermittent is like a window. But to me, if you're doing intermittent, you still have to do the portion method, because if you're doing intermittent fasting and you're still and your BMR is 2,000 and you're taking in 2,800 calories in that window, you're defeating the purpose. You're just slamming food and not having an account of what you're taking in. And guys, I tell people this, and I stand by this. I'm gonna give you 2 examples. I'm gonna start off with taxes. Shout out to tax now. Who does your taxes? Any one of us with a sound mind and probably a decent high school education could probably sit down, go on the IRS site, fill out that damn 1040, and probably do our taxes, depending on how much you got going on. If you had one job, you ain't got a lot of finances coming in and out. You ain't got a lot of 1099. You ain't got a lot of baby mama. You ain't got a lot of stocks. If you just got a basic job, you work at a foundry. That's how you work at a foundry. You older, you ain't paying it. You can probably sit down to your taxes. But you're going to be missing out so much more when it comes to things that you can write off and stuff like that, because you don't know that industry. You can do it, but you don't know it. We can go to Walmart right now and buy a pair of clippers to cut your hair. You can fuck your hair up. Just because you can buy some, don't make you no barber. It's the same with fitness. You can watch somebody work out. You can do exactly like you think they're doing it, but it's not the same as when you're getting a professional trainer or a nutrition coach to help you on your journey. It's not the same. Just like it's not the same when you do your taxes. It's not the same if a barber cuts you up. Somebody will just go get some clippers to cut their own hair. If they're not a barber, they haven't been trained. They don't know about angle. They don't know about whatever they teach in barber school. Their head, whoever trying to cut, is finna be looking crazy, bust up. That person trying to do their taxes, who don't know what the hell they doing, either they're gonna be owing a lot of money or they might get annexed, not annexed. What is shit called? What shit called that? But when they come get you, audited, because you didn't know what you were doing. You just basically filling in the blanks, but you don't know the industry. And fitness is the exact same way. You got to know fitness. I can look at numbers and visualize how a person looks. Somebody called me and say, okay, when I do my phone call assessment, I'm 5'2", I weigh 230. I already know that BMI finna be sky high, that body fat finna be sky high. Because her height and her weight off the top, I already know. Don't throw no, I'm 48 in there. Don't. Woo. And then when that person walks through this door, I already knew what they looked like before they did. And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just giving you an example. Or I can say I'm 6'2", 130. Don't. That's a pencil. I already know that person's BMI is probably gonna be like 20. Their body fat might not even register. They're so small. But that comes from knowing what I've been doing this for so long and knowing my industry. So please, guys, don't take it for granted. You know, everybody's on this I can do it myself thing, but to optimize whatever you're trying to do, hire somebody. Consult with somebody. Everything don't have to be a hire. If you do have knowledge of fitness, there's no wrong with getting you a consultation with a trainer or a nutrition coach just to get some fill in the blank information that you might not know to optimize your journey. Nothing's wrong with that. But going in there thinking you know it all because you saw something on Instagram or YouTube, no, you're gonna be just like that person buying them clippers. You're gonna mess them up, or you're not gonna optimize your journey. Because there's so many levels to it. And not to mention the motivation and inspiration. It's kind of like a psychologist. What do they really do? They hear your problems, give you a little advice, but it makes you feel better. And you pay this person. Same thing. Exact same thing. Coach, I'm thinking about doing this, eating this, eating that. I don't think you should do that because no, same thing. Anyway, guys, I hope this information has been good. I have to go. Regardless of you doing the portion method, intermittent fasting, you got to know your macros, you got to know your BMR, you got to know how many calories it takes for your body to function. If you're gaining, you want to gain weight, you add to that. And if you want to cut, you take away from that. In my stomach growling. And if you need help with this, guys, like I said, don't take this momentous task on by yourself. Come out the Goat Man. Come on, couldn't be Buena Vista Road, 4701 Buena Vista Road to be exact. Holler at me. Let me help you. This is my life's work. This is what I do. I'm like McDonald's, billion served. We've lost over 2,000 pounds. I got that number last year in July, and I haven't added to it, but I could have added Reggie to it. I could add Travis to it. So I'm not gonna be like 2,130. Now, until it jumped to 2,500, it's gonna be 2,000. But that's documented. We got documents here. We chart stuff. We write stuff down here. Science. All right, guys. I hope you guys find this, like I said, find this video helpful. Please share it. Please like it. Share it with a friend. Say, hey, this is my guy. We to get this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Because I do. I'm the shit. No toilet bowl. Let's go, man. Out. Peace. Fake smile.